The rain fell softly that morning, not loud, not angry, just enough to soak the black marble headstone and blur the name carved into it. Imars Haraj home. A man in an expensive black coat stood alone before the grave. No bodyguards, no assistants, no photographers, just him. A billionaire who owned towers of glass and steel, and absolutely nothing that mattered anymore. His knees trembled, then gave out. He collapsed onto the wet grass, his hands shaking as they clutched the cold stone. "I'm sorry," he whispered. His voice broke. "Completely. I should have protected you." He pressed his forehead to the grave, shoulders shaking as years of grief poured out in quiet, uncontrollable sobs. What he didn't know, what would have shattered him even more, was that someone was standing behind the oak tree nearby. A young woman. Hood pulled low, breath caught in her throat. Tears streamed down her face as she watched her father cry at her grave. Because Emily Harrington was alive, and he had no idea. Emotional explosion. She had rehearsed this moment 1,000 times. The anger, the confrontation, the accusations. But nothing prepared her for this. Nothing prepared her to see the most powerful man in the city, the man the world called ruthless, curled into himself like a broken old soul, crying for her. Emily pressed her hand against her mouth to stop herself from making a sound. Her legs felt weak. "He thinks I'm dead," she realized again. And for the first time in years, she wondered if that lie had killed him too. Before we go any further, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the healing power of truth and love, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness Corner Hub. These stories matter because people matter. Now let me tell you how it all began. Ethan Harrington built his empire from nothing. No inheritance, no shortcuts. Just long nights, bruised knuckles, and a fire in his chest that refused to die. By 35, he was a millionaire. By 45, a billionaire. But behind the headlines, behind the tailored suits and cold boardroom decisions, he was just a single father. Emily was 6 when her mother passed away. Cancer. Fast. Merciless. From that day on, Emily became Ethan's world. He learned to braid hair, burn pancakes, read bedtime stories in different voices. But success is a jealous companion. The bigger the company grew, the smaller his presence at home became. Missed school plays, missed birthdays, missed moments. Emily never complained. She just learned to be quiet, to be invisible. When Ethan married again, he believed he was giving Emily stability. Grace Harrington, elegant, polished, charming in public. But behind closed doors, Grace saw Emily as a reminder, a shadow of the woman Ethan once loved. And resentment grows fastest where no one is watching. Subtle cruelty at first, cold words, sharp looks, withheld affection. Then one night, a car accident. Emily was 16. The official story said she was killed instantly. The body was burned beyond recognition. Closed casket, quick burial. Ethan signed the papers with shaking hands and a shattered heart. What he never knew was that Emily had survived. Pulled from the wreck by a nurse who recognized Grace's name on the police report. A nurse who whispered, "Someone wants you gone, sweetheart." Emily disappeared that night, declared dead, hidden alive. Back at the grave, Ethan's sobs finally slowed. He wiped his face with the sleeve of his coat, ashamed of the tears but unable to stop them. "I failed you," he whispered again. "I chose money over you. I chose wrong people." Emily's knees buckled. She crouched behind the tree, silent tears soaking her scarf. He loved me, she realized. He just didn't know how to show it. The anger she carried for years cracked open, and something else rushed in. Hope, redemption, and rebuilding. Emily didn't reveal herself that day. Not yet, but she started watching, learning, following the man her father had become after losing her. He funded orphanages, built hospitals, quietly paid for children's surgeries. Guilt had reshaped him. Months later, she left an envelope on his office desk. No return address. Inside was a photo, her favorite childhood photo. Ethan's hands trembled as he stared at it. Then a note. "If you're ready to hear the truth, go back to the grave tomorrow at sunset." He went. Of course he did. And this time Emily stepped out from behind the tree. "Dad," The world stopped. Ethan's heart nearly did too. He staggered forward, breath gone, eyes wide with disbelief. "No," he whispered. "No, I buried you." Emily shook her head, tears falling freely now. "I'm here." He touched her face like she might vanish, then pulled her into his arms with a sob that echoed across the cemetery. "I thought I lost you forever." "So did I," she said. "But I found you again. Some losses aren't final. Some endings are lies wrapped in grief. And sometimes love survives the darkest deceptions." Ethan exposed Grace's betrayal. Justice followed. But more importantly, a father got his daughter back, and a daughter learned that love, even when flawed, can still be real. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you to hold your loved ones a little closer, please like, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Corner Hub. And tell us in the comments, what would you say if you were given a second chance with someone you thought you lost forever? Because sometimes the people we mourn are still waiting for us to see them.